we always want to win.
You never want to disappoint your country. It's just something that means a lot to us.
It was embarrassing last year, and we want them to feel like we felt last year.
It's the biggest win of the year if we can pull it off.
The 888.com Weber Cup at the Barnsley Metrodome is back, and the USA have a small but significant lead. It is the event they call the Ryder Cup of 10-pin bowling, and it's already provided so much excitement. The USA took a big lead, then Europe fought back, and at the moment, USA lead by 2.
Last time Weber Cup got back underway as Team Europe, captained by Mika Koivuniemi, looked determined to avenge their defeat last year, while Team USA weren't prepared to give up their lead in a bid to retain their title. The Baker match last time, however, saw a great performance from the Europeans. They were just one strike off a perfect game and kept their 100% record in the team matches. The singles game saw Dom Barrett and Chris Barnes go toe-to-toe, and the American was in form, taking the game with a score of 268 compared to Dom's 204, and the Americans took back their 2-point advantage. So confirmation of the scores, USA lead by 2. So often we've had tight, exciting matches in the Weber Cup, and this looks like it could go the same way. Coming up next, Dom Barrett and Chris Barnes will go toe-to-toe again. Then team captain Mika Koivuniemi will go up against Bill, the real deal O'Neill. It's another exciting set of matches as Team Europe try to win back the Weber Cup.
So let's welcome them to the lane. First, representing Team Europe, it's Dom Barrett. And now representing Team USA, it's Chris Barnes. Well, a quick chat with the players then before we get underway. Chris is here, Dom's coming over as well. Come on, Dom. I need to chat to you first because you guys have just played on this lane. It's one of the quirks of the draw, perhaps, that you're playing each other again. How have you kind of regrouped in the few minutes between these two matches? How are you going to approach this?
You know, it's what we do in tournaments all the time. We play game after game. So, you know, I'm quite at home with this. Hopefully going to bowl a better score. So really my thoughts are just about ball motion, what I can do to get my ball to do the right thing and face up to the pocket the right way, and that's really all I've been thinking about for the last 5 minutes.
When you walked on there and when Chris Barnes was walking on, you went over to talk to your teammate Stuart, didn't you? What did he say to you? Was it, come on pal, you can do this, or was it a little bit more about technique and the lane condition?
Very much about equipment choices and what I'm trying to do physically with my hand, all about the ball motion on the lane to try and get the best result.
Okay, Dom, stay there. Let's have a quick chat to Chris then. That was a morale-boosting win. You've got to do it all over again, though.
Yeah, we do, but there's a little bit of pressure off. If I lose, we're right back to where we started, and if I win, we go up by that 3-point margin, which is a tough one to overcome.
Chris and Dom, thanks very much indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next match. Europe trail by 2. Can they fight back? Over to Cass Edwards and Andy Bodfish.
Chris Barnes against Dom Barrett again at Weber Cup 14. Dom Barrett from Cambridge. Lives in Colchester these days. Multiple EBT champion. Won his first title in the States at the 2012 Scorpion Open. Semi-finalist in Vienna last week. Starts with a strike.
Starts as he means to finish, Andy. Great looking shot there from Barrett. A slight change of line from the last game. Both players have had a couple of practice balls to sort their line out on this oiling pattern, which hasn't changed from before, hasn't been dressed. So any movement in the oil has been put down by these two guys. Barnes, 8 strikes in a row in the last game, and starts exactly the way Dom does, with the scores all level after frame 1.
Yeah, there's Chris Barnes' 28th strike in this edition of the Ryder Cup.
Spot on, Andy. 2 spares, 2 opens as well. Hopefully we'll forget about those and that number of strikes, as you know, a 300 game and a 268 singles game.
Well, you just mentioned it there, the spares and the strikes, destined to become mere footnotes if you win. Ooh, Dom won't be happy with that necessarily. He's left the 3, 6 and 10 right-hand side.
Yeah, such a contrast to the first shot, which was flush in the pocket. This one's just dived up at him, gone flush through the nose. Wrong reaction right in front of the pocket.
Makes the spare.
Yeah, chance for Barnes to take advantage of that spare and make a double in the Barnes-Barrett 2 show. Dom's got 23 strikes, 11 spares and a couple of opens. It's the spares column there that he'll not be too happy about. Barnes looking for 2 in a row. Oh, no! Dear, oh dear. What an overreaction in the back end. The ball looked a little bit slower to me from where I'm sitting, but it got to the head pin and just snaps left. It's left the 4, 6 and the 7. Now watch this one. It's in the right place, right in the area, and what a reaction that is. Breaks nothing up. And this is more than likely going to be open frame. Number 3 for Barnes.
Tough one for Chris, this. Oh, he nearly got it. He nearly got that messenger. He knows it as well, but it is open. And it's back over to you, Tom.
Just giving it a shot. It's almost impossible, but it will go. And you can see the thinking behind it, and that is very, very close. Just need a little tap, but it won't go. Open frame in the second for Barnes. Time for Barrett now. Working on a spare, really needs to bury one in.
The roar says it all from Team Europe supporters inside the Metrodome. By double as Dom Barrett supporters, almost.
Well, it's friends and family. They're the domination, the dominator is Dom Barrett.
3 frames, 2 strikes for Dom.
Yeah, much better reaction on that last shot as it was in frame 1. Barnes got to come back from the open. Needs to hit a couple of strikes at least in a row. Right,
that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, great looking comeback from Chris. He really is lined up on this lane. It was quite unfortunate that he couldn't split up that rack of pins in the second frame. Just 12 pins down at the moment. Dom Barrett seeking revenge from that last defeat against Chris Barnes, the American captain. He's working on a strike, looking for 2. And that looked pretty good to me. I don't know about you, Andy, but it was flush in the pocket and carried all 10.
3 out of 4. Happier with his business there, Dom.
Yeah, hits his mark down lane, and that's flush in the pocket. High flush shot, carries all 10. Just got to be able to do that on a very, very consistent basis. It was the perfect shot. You just have to try and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. And this is one of the guys that can do that. Almost before lunchtime. 8 strikes in a row in his last game. Straight back in against Dom Barrett for another game. Working on a strike.
Left that second frame open though. That's why Chris Barnes is playing catch up. Not for long if form like that continues.
Yeah, make mine a double of those. That's what Chris Barnes has said. He's just hit the double. Moving left on the approach, he's going wider and wider, opening this lane up. Looking for that angle. Getting it great in the back end there. Just perfect.
Frame 5. Dominic Barrett for Europe. On his hat-trick. Claimed.
Well, that's the repeatability I was talking about. That's 3 perfect shots from Dom Barrett. Right in the 1-3 pocket for the right-hander. Opened up the lane, using all the angles he's got.
So still that 280, a possibility for Dominic here. Striking out for Chris Barnes would leave him with 268.
Yeah, he's got some work to do here. He's really got to concentrate on this pocket. He's got to carry all 10. If he's got to have a chance, he's got to strike when Dom doesn't.
Well, you could hear it on, couldn't you? Go, go.
You could hear him shouting, yeah, Andy, you're quite right. Go, go was the shout. Working on 2 strikes, and the third one's disappointed him. You can shout it, go, go, as it's trying to come back up the hill. Didn't have quite enough on it. Went too wide of his mark, and yeah, he's not very happy. It's left the 2 and the 8 pin. We called them the sleeper. One behind the other. Got to be careful, must make sure he takes that back pin. Just like that. It's a good spare, but not good. Spares aren't good enough, I'm afraid. So his maximum drops to 246. And that's what the situation is in Barnes' game at the halfway stage.